Hello everyone, this is Paycheck, coach of the Portland Palafins, and today I'm going over the draft recap for my draft in the Pokémon Ultra Draft League Doubles Division. This is a little VGC league that the PUDL is running. So, just basically regular VGC rules, except this time the little spin on it. There are some lower restricteds that no one would bother using in a regular restricted format, as well as some mythicals, like Darkrai. We were the 6th pick overall in this draft, and unfortunately the 5th pick chose Darkrai. We were super close to getting Darkrai there. Unfortunate. No spamming Dark Voids from me. So as, a little consolation prize, instead of getting Darkrai, we happened to get a different Pokemon. We got Fluttermane, the best VGC Pokemon out there, in a non-restricted format at least. This thing is crazy, and it's especially crazy. This thing got picked like the 6th coach down overall, which is nuts. But it's a strong Ghost and Fairy type. 55s on attack, defense, HP 135, and special attack, special defense, and speed. This thing's main job is basically spam fairy moves, get some coverage with Shadow Ball, and it does have some support moves. It has Icy Wind for speed control, and it also has like Taunt if I want to taunt like a Trick Room Mon. I also have Imprison for Trick Room Mons. But overall, this thing just hits hard and it lives the occasional hit. So overall, it's no Darkrai. That would have been super fun to use, but Fluttermane's the best VGC Pokemon for a reason, so happy with this pick. For round 2, we actually got a restricted Pokemon, which is pretty cool. Although no one would actually use this thing in a restricted format, I'm sure. But it still technically is restricted, and for round 2, we got Kyurem. Kyurem is technically a restricted Pokemon, although I don't think anyone would actually use this over something like black or white Kyurem. Kyurem, the base form is still pretty good. It's pretty similar stats to Raging Bolt, I noticed, other than it's got more attack, which is pretty cool. Although it doesn't have access to Thunderclap or, the electric typing overall. But, Kyurem's still really good. It has Glaciate as a signature move, which is basically just a better Icy Wind in a sense, just does more damage, which is pretty cool. It's got Earth Power to hit Steel types. It's got Dracos if I want to hit something really hard. I can also go with the physical sets, with Dragon Dance, Loaded Dice, Scale Shot, Icicle Spear, that sort of thing. So it's got some versatility, extremely bulky, hard-hitting Pokemon, and I think it can pair nicely pretty well with the Fluttermane. It's also a Dragon type, so I kind of have like a little Dragon Fairy Steel core going on here. All I need is like the Steel type, which unfortunately I do not get overall, but that's fine. I can always tear something into Steel. For round 3, we did end up getting a mythical, which normally is not allowed in VGC, which is pretty cool. You don't often get to see these Pokemon get used in doubles formats. So for round 3, we picked up Volcanion. This is a pretty good Pokemon overall. It's got some pretty well-rounded stats, very bulky. It is a fire-water type with Water Absorb, which is pretty cool. It's got Steam Eruption, which is basically Hydro Pump and Scald mixed together, so getting a strong water type is pretty hard to come by, so that's pretty nice. It also has Heat Wave, if you want to get a nice spread move as well. A lot of spread moves so far on my team. But yeah, it's pretty rare. I never really used Volcanion in singles either, honestly, so this is probably my first time using it in a doubles format. But I'm pretty excited. I think it pairs well. It's kind of like already a fire water grass core in of itself. All I need would be the grass type. But yeah, Volcanion fits pretty nicely on the team. Can hit those steel types that Fluttermane may struggle up against. Also hits like those grass types, like Amoonguss maybe, if someone else has it, which is pretty cool. Round 4, we ended up picking up a pretty powerful Pokemon. I picked this up alongside the Volcanion in Grace. So for round 4, we picked up Lando T, Landorusterian. This thing pairs super well with Fluttermane, as well as pretty well with both Kyurem and Volcanion. Ground stab is very strong with Fairy. Hit those steel, poison, fire types that Fluttermane may not be able to hit super effectively. It also has Intimidate for Fluttermane to help support, just hinder those physical attackers. Overall, Lando T is just super strong, 145 base attack, pretty bulky overall. Got 91 speed, so I can have Scarf. That's probably the most common set, but it could also run Assault Vest or Safety Goggles, or I don't know, maybe even like a Citrus Berry or something, or even Choice Band if I want to hit as hard as possible. Normally, most draft leagues don't have like high tier Terras, but this is a open Terra closed team sheet VGC draft, so we do have Terra Flying available to Lando here, which is really strong. But yeah, overall, Lando is extremely powerful pick. Happy to pick it up. I think it'll do super well with Fluttermane. And round 5, we are continuing the pattern of legendaries and or paradox Pokemon, and we pick up Munkidori. Munkidori is, I think, super good in this format. It is a poison psychic type, so it gives us some utility there. But it has Toxic Chain if I want to maybe toxic something or poison something. But I think the better ability in this format, at least, is Frisk. This is a double format. It is also closed team sheet, so by sending this thing out, I will know both of my opposing Pokemon's items, which can be really valuable, especially as I'm learning 2 Pokemon's items at once. This thing also gives me Fake Out support, which is really nice. And I think it also has Parting Shot as well, so I can also hinder the attack and special attack of opposing Pokemon. So alongside like Landorus, I can probably just like pivot in and out, like Fake Out and Intimidates and all that. So it's super useful. So I think Munkidori is a pretty good addition to the team. And for round 6, we have yet another Paradox Pokemon. We ended up picking up Brute Bonnet. This is another past Paradox Pokemon. It is not quite an Amoonguss, but it's still really good. It's super offensive, offers our team Sucker Punch, which is nice, gets some priority. If we ever set up Sun, I can benefit both Fluttermane and Brute Bonnet, which is very nice. This thing is bulky with Rage Powder, so I can always redirect attacks as long as I don't have Safety Goggles. I can Spore opponents, and maybe some like niche case scenario I can Pollen Puff my teammates, even though this thing's special attack is just not good at all. But this thing could be both support and an offensive Mon that can be valuable in a lot of situations, I feel. So pretty happy with the Brute Bonnet pickup. It finishes the Grass, Water, Fire core that most teams get, even though half of that is just Volcanion. But overall, pretty nice. It can also help with, I guess, any Psy Spam teams, which there probably is at least one in this VGC draft division. But for round 6, pretty happy with the overall pickup. Round 7, we end the legendary and paradox Pokemon pattern here, and we get another pretty good Pokemon overall, at least only in a VGC setting. Illumise, or actually I think it's pronounced Illumise technically, but I'm not calling it that. Illumise is just a plain bug type, not very good defensively. It's got pretty bad stats, but it does have Prankster, and that's great for it. It gets Tailwind, Sunny Day, Rain Dance, all that good stuff. Probably has like some other interesting status moves just to help support the team. This thing is pretty expensive point-wise. It's like 12 points, but it is a VGC format, so obviously it's gonna get a lot more value there. It also has Struggle Bug, so with a 73 special attack, it could do some decent damage, sort of, not really. But overall, this thing can support the team pretty nicely. It's mostly just here for weather control and tailwind setting and all that jazz. But for round 8 now, I believe, we have another Pokemon. We ended up choosing Thwackey. And we got the elongated Grookey here. This thing here is literally just give us a little more fake out support, also has U-turn. It is basically just a budget Rillaboom. It also gives us a bit of terrain control, which is pretty nice, pretty useful. It's mostly here as a budget Pokemon, fill out the roster a little bit more, and give us a lot of niche options. I'm pretty excited to use this thing actually. If any size spam teams or anything like that shows up, I can use that to take control. It gets Eviolite, so this thing can technically be more bulkier than Rillaboom on the physical side, I believe, so it's pretty nice. Overall, I'm pretty happy to use this thing. I think it's pretty funny looking, just a elongated Grookey. But yeah, that's my 8th pick. For the 9th pick, it is pretty similar to this one, mostly just for niche control options. For round 9, we ended up choosing Knacklestack. This thing is pretty cool. It's got some nice options. It's a ghost resist, technically, so that can be nice. Although I think the best thing about this Pokemon is the fact that it has sturdy, which is pretty cool. If anyone is threatening me with really powerful just spread moves, this thing does get access to Wide Guard, which is really nice. And with the Eviolite, this thing can get super bulky. If anything has like, I don't know, the Dondozo or something, maybe I could potentially Salt Cure it, which is nice. Basically, this thing is here mostly to give some more support, be a bulky, low value, high value, low tier, but just give my team some more options, make it a little more rounded out. And for the final Pokemon, the final piece of the team here, is actually a pretty interesting one. It's only a 1-pointer Mon, but I think it should technically be rated higher than that. For round 10, our final Pokemon is Charjabug. Charjabug is a really good low tier, in my opinion. It has really good support moves. It has things like String Shot, Struggle Bug, Thunder Wave, I think Eerie Impulse. I'd have to double check on that one, but it's got some pretty decent stats, although it's got low HP, special attack, and speed. Its attack is decent, maybe, but it's got 95 defense, 75 special defense, which is really good paired with the Eviolite. So this thing can be a really bulky support Pokemon for my team. And the most fun thing about Charjabug, in my opinion, is its ability in Battery, which just straight up gives my special attackers a Life Orb boost, essentially, a 1.3 times boost to special attacks. So if I pair this thing with like Fluttermane or Kyurem or Volcanion, Munkidori, a lot of these guys can just fire off super powerful special attacks, just boosted by Charjabug for free, essentially. And hopefully, I'm hoping to just overpower my opponents with that. So, I'm excited for Charjabug. I think it'll definitely come to a few games. I do believe in the Charjabug. And yeah, and that basically sums up my VGC draft team here. So here is the team in full. This team mostly just focuses around on hitting hard and is kind of balance-ish, I would say. But got some good options here. Really cool stuff to experiment with. Excited to use Kyurem, base Kyurem in a VGC format, since it's pretty much never used. Volcanion as well, almost never seen usage in VGC at least. I'm sure it sees some usage in like a regular doubles. But pretty happy with the team. I think I'll do well. This is the PUDL. Oh, I guess I just noticed there's a Master Ball division logo on top there, but this is the doubles division. Forgot to remove the Master Ball logo, but this has been Paycheck, coach of the Portland Palafins, and I will see you all next time. See you for week 1.